is going to be an absolute clusterfuck. So this happens at the beginning of P1 and P2. And P2, it's going to be purple instead of green, but essentially the exact same thing. Every single time the phase repeats, east and west sides are going to fill up with these acid pools. Every time it repeats, these will slowly get larger and larger and larger until we get to the fourth time around where it will fill up the entire arena. I doubt in Heroic this will matter, but in Mythic, probably only for Race to World first, I bet, with all the percent damage buffs, it will not matter for us. But there is a Soften Rage that will basically fill up the entire arena with acid. The premise of Phase 1 is there's going to be all these little orbs around. Kind of what we talked about a couple weeks ago. This is not an extra action bar or drop off. You pick it up and you bring it to a stack point where a frontal will clear them. It's like a 6-second debuff. Once the 6 seconds is over, it'll fall off. If you want bonus points in Mythic, what will end up happening, and this is, again, not entirely relevant, but just something because it's going to be probably the same, or people in Heroic will have to be doing it in Mythic, is you're going to have these little purple circles that will exist around these green orbs. You cannot put another green orb inside of the purple circle, or bad things happen. So if you want to start planning by dropping them in, whatever area so that the frontal can hit multiple but not stacked on top of each other, that might not be a bad idea to do. There's going to be a group soak that we need to do always at the edge of the room. I'm pretty sure we will always hold the boss by star, or on the opposite side of the room, X, either or. When this group soak goes off, it'll cover like 75% of the arena and shit that we need to get out of. It's drop off damage. You can, if you use gate, you can accidentally gate and pick up these orbs. Not a terrible thing, but maybe in Mythic will be to our detriment if we accidentally do this. My plan right now is that when we do these green orb frontals, we have to clear all of them in 3 sets of 3 or in 2 sets, with one being 4 and one set being 5. But we'll figure it out when it goes to live. I don't want to think about it too much right now. The biggest thing for positioning tanks is not only this group soak we just talked about, but also communication with the orb people for where they're dropping their orbs. That's going to matter a lot in Heroic and in Mythic. This is probably a fight where I am calling very, very little and just allowing the tanks and the people who were supposed to be doing jobs communicate and talk. But it does matter where the Phase 1 boss dies at, and we'll talk about that later. Sorry, do you have a question? Okay. When we go to Phase 2, the new thing, instead of orbs, we now get these ghosts that fixate. When it fixates on you, it'll get like a glowing purple hue around it, so like what this one will look like. When you look at them, so if I am facing directly at this guy, he will not move. But the moment I stop facing him, he will start following. What does that mean? Some of you may need to get better with your camera movement. If you aren't used to like pointing, let's say this person is my spirit and also the boss is that direction or whatever, you need to get maybe used to using your left mouse to completely do your rotation correctly and also pivot so you can see the room, because there's going to be an ad that needs to be interrupted. Just something to maybe work on while you're doing easy Mythic Plus stuff. That is one mechanic. The next mechanic is this frontal. These ghosts will actually turn white when they're inside of this frontal as well. There's going to be a circle that goes around a player. Once it explodes, there's going to be 3 images of yourself that you have to go pick up in 12 seconds. Bad things happen if you don't. There's going to be an interrupt ad. His cast is like 10 seconds long. Do not kick it early, because he'll start jumping around the room all over the place. Tanks, I know that your immediate thought goes to go stack this guy, the boss, on top of this guy. I don't think it's going to be worth, at least not week 1, because it might cause really weird positioning things when it comes to like people with the ghost fixates, and it might just cause more problems than what it's worth. for week 1 ranged, this will be a hard swap for you guys to just kill this guy immediately, so it's just one less thing to worry about. You can get this circle mechanic while you are simultaneously fixated by Ghost. That does matter. How I assume this will work, and we'll watch it when it goes live, is that, and this will matter a lot more for Phase 3 than Phase 2, I think, because once we start getting this group soak that causes this movement, if we hold the boss in the center of the room like this, it might cause weird things with these ghosts. So if we keep the boss on the outside of the room, so that when we do that group soak, when both bosses are alive, we can get out of dodge, something similar to this, and get across the room, and then these ghosts will, as we run across the room, start chasing us, and they will automatically put themselves in the center of the room, and then we just point the frontal back this way and kill these ghosts like that. Does that make sense movement-wise for everyone? What I'm trying to get at there?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Because that will be a very, very important thing, even in Heroic, that you understand that movement. And I will make another video before we do this the first time to go over that, because that will be the most difficult thing of Phase 2 and Phase 3. Okay. When we kill this guy, we do not want to kill him. Let's say the first boss died right here above Star. We do not want to kill him directly on top. We want to kill him close enough where people that get resource gen off of like 2-target cleave can hit both, but not directly on top of one another. I don't know exactly why, but every single video is saying you don't do that, and I can't find the reason why, so I'm not going to waste my time trying to find it. When we go into intermission, this guy is going to be healed by the second boss, but he is taking 100% damage while this guy is taking 0 damage. So it's going to be Lust with all CDs. I would assume week 1 this is going to be like a 6-minute burn, or just after 6 minutes burn with all CDs and Lust. And then also all of these souls are slowly going to navigate towards Zool. They do not care about this guy. So kind of what I would like to do is imagine this white circle is the raid. We basically just make a line, a circle of our entire raid team that's big enough so that you can fit an AMZ, Darkness, and SLT, and we don't go out and go get these guys. So like, I'm not running out and like touching all these souls because they do raid-wide damage. We're just letting them come to us and touching us. And that way we can get full uptime. We don't lose any damage from movement. This will be likely most of our healing CDs, likely most of our non-healer CDs with Darkness, AMZ, rallies, whatnot.
How many rallies we run?
6.
12. Who fucking knows at this point, bro? Every time a soul reaches Zool, it heals them for an extra 3%. So we don't want any of these to go through. When we watch the heroic footage here in a second, there's going to be a metric fuck ton of these souls. I do not think there will be that many in heroic based off what we're going to see in the footage. But yeah, every time we touch one of these, raid-wide damage. When we go into Phase 3, it's a mix of P1 and P2 all over again. One frontal does take care of all things. It's not just like Zool's frontal only takes care of this, and this guy's frontal only takes care of the ghost. It all works the same way, but all the mechanics exist. You just have to put it all together. And again, that's kind of why I wanted to explain this movement across the room thing with these ghosts, because that will matter. Bosses do not share health, and they need to die together, because this guy cannot be hit, but this guy can be. It is realistic that this guy will have more health going into Phase 3, so it'll be a full swap to this guy, and we're just cleaving into this guy the rest of the fight. I think what Blizzard is trying to make happen is that they have the same amount of HP when they come out of this intermission, because this guy slowly goes up in health while healing this guy. But we'll see how they actually want it to go. So that is essentially the entire fight. Any questions before we watch the video? I got out of this one.
That seems like great 2-target cleave. How many arms warriors are playing?
Not enough. Okay. So acid puddles filling east and west sides of the room immediately. These little acid orbs can spawn in them, but the acid will slowly go away in time, so you don't have to do the move he just did and like go into it immediately and go pick it up. There's also these little axes that are spinning around the room, just normal WoW stuff. Just dodge them. You'll see it just drops off after 6 seconds, leaves a little dot behind as well. Or sorry, dot on you while you have it on you as well. And you just have a gather location to get rid of them all. Group soak comes out. It's this green circle right here. You want to get in it and travel across the room. Notice if you gate, you can gate through an orb like how they do here. That's the only bad thing about using a Warlock gate, but it's not that devastating. And then we just reset and keep it going. More frontals get rid of more orbs. So on and so forth. That is the entirety of phase 1. This is resetting phase 1. So he did 1 group soak and then 2 sets of orb spawns. And now he's restarting phase 1. So if this happens 4 times, this is the soften rage I talked about at the beginning. And you can see that they are getting larger. Note, this graphic of this acid pool is probably this gray shaded area, not the actual green. Yes, it is larger than it appears.
I think you're right too. That's so dumb.
Yeah. It's the gray shaded area is when you'll start taking damage. More axes get thrown out. This is kind of where I'm kind of stuck on when I want to play this tier, because this feels like a very big, hey, the more people that you have that can do these shitty jobs, the more damage you can get from other people. But maybe it'll be different by the time we get there on Mythic and it actually matters. And then we do another group soak. And orbs are spawning right now. What they decide to do, and this is plausible that on live we would do this, all of these orbs are up, and they are going to push the boss, and all 9 explode simultaneously. And they just throw healing CDs at it. It is plausible that, obviously Blizzard doesn't want you to do that probably, but it's plausible that that may happen eventually, so keep that in mind. Alright, going into phase 2 now. MCs, forgot to cover MCs, just a little purple arrow above your head. Banchers will end up getting it later, so you'll see it in a little bit. And then that ghost behind the boss to the right of X, that's glowing more purple, that one is fixated on him. You do not get that fixate line that a lot of fixates give you. You just have to identify which one is glowing more purple, and you can see other ghosts that are like very dull purple. So you do not get a line. Off to the left is the interrupt ad. When they kick it, you'll notice it'll jump away. On Mythic, guaranteed to be a interrupt order situation. Those purple circles, those are the ones that spawn your souls. You have to run around and pick up 3 souls in 12 seconds. And then this is the frontal that gets rid of the ghosts. As you can see, they will turn white. This is the potential devastating thing of putting melee on the interrupt ad. That frontal, if you're a melee, will be hitting you. So I doubt we put melee on the whale. The only melee would be if Dalt plays like Havoc on this fight, which there is a chance he would, if the funnel thing works as I expect it to. Purple arrow goes above head. This is the MC. It's just like Zool from Uldir if you played the game that far back. Break a shield, get them out. They're fully CCable, ROP, grip, everything works. One thing that, if people can keep an eye out for this when this fight starts getting done in Heroic, if this interrupt ad has a spawn radius, that would be really, really cool for us to find out. It would essentially make it so that if we put the boss in a corner or something, we could, eliminate 66% of the area that he could spawn at or whatever. So, or 50%. So, but yeah, this is essentially the jellyfish from Rotmire all over again for ranged, except we actually need a hard swap to it. This is the big circle, so you're going to see 3 images spawn. They are not static. They will wander around. So don't greed and finish casts. Go get them immediately. And yeah, we just keep going and repeating everything. On Heroic, you can see other people's ghosts. In Mythic, you cannot. You can only see other people's ghosts when this interrupt goes off. And then also in Mythic, those ghosts will fixate to a new target like every 15 seconds or something like that as well. So, okay. Again, wherever we killed the first boss in phase 1, ideally we kill this guy close to him as well. And he is going to push not at 0%. I think it's like 10. Yeah, 10. And then he's going to start channeling into Zool. There's a shield we have to break at 10%. And then we have to beat that, kick him. And then we're going to get him all the way down to 1% or whatever, and then he'll start his cast of healing Zool.
The knockback.
The knockback is the intermission starting. This ad spawning is just because they did not beat the spirit spawn. So if you see the spirit cackle cast that's about to go off from his bigwigs, because they pushed like half a second too late, this kick ad ends up spawning. So this is not intended to happen when we will do this live for a kill. These little green spirits, those will heal for 3% when they reach Zool. They do not fixate to this other boss guy. And you can see both of their HP pools are going up. This is why we will just like make a circle around the boss, or a semicircle, because there's potentially a gap where spirits won't come from. And we won't move to touch these things. We will just let them run into us. It's obviously a shit ton of raid-wide damage. For the sake of testing, they eventually just allow it to heal the boss and do whatever. Also, these ghosts were bugged in testing, so don't really worry about them right now. They likely would.
Those spirits that rush Soul John also change in Mythic, right?
I think so. I think it is like a stacking dot in Mythic.
Yeah, it's a stacking debuff.
So it's like
so you
bursting,
get more
kind of.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get more damage each soul.
So
Is it
now
personal or a raid wide dot?
The raid wide.
I believe it's raid wide on Mythic.
Cringe.
I mean, you'll just have people immune.
My bad.
I think it's in
Right.
your mission now.
You'll have people like, immune, sweep them out. That works.
Where is it? Whatever. It's gonna be a long time till we get there, so it might be changed by the time we get there. So let's not even worry about it. All right. So now we have ghosts to get rid of. We have orbs to drop and get rid of. We still have this runaway group soak mechanic, and as you can see, it is becoming a lot of mechanics all at once. Again, you can't let these ghosts touch you. So there's going to be a lot of movement and coordination that's going to be involved. I really want everyone to understand that this will potentially not be a free boss week 1. This is not a boss that we can just show up to and like, oh, it'll take 7 pulls and it'll die week 1. We actually need to have probably really good coordination week 1 on this. So this and the last boss, I would say from like a prep standpoint, get with a group of people to watch polls and see movement and talk about it and, you know, try to get on the same page with stuff. As you can see, they're not going to end up killing it.
Losers.
He accidentally touches his spirit here. So see, bang. And now he's charmed. And he's just gonna see you later. Bye-bye.
Is that the MC charm that's also breakable if it
I
happens?
believe it is breakable even if you run into your spirit, but I am. Let's check real quick.
I found
new
the
deck?
Sorry.
I found the spirit essence, the thing that increases damage taken.
Give me 1 second. Let's look at this real quick, and then I'll come back to that. Apply Dread March upon reaching their target, which I assume is just the MC thing. Bang. Absorb. Yeah. So you can break people out. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all when you watch Liquid do this, that they just tell people to let the ghost in phase 3 hit you when you're stacked up, just to get rid of the ghost.
It spawns 2 more ghosts
No,
when
it
you do it.
spawns 2.
Oh, just
Yeah,
kidding.
once you-
All right.
You're right
upon
above it,
removal
Dread
from
March.
patients. Yep. I should read the whole tooltip. No, my bad. But yeah, it might be something you do like if the boss is like 5%. Like fuck it, just let it touch you. You know. But we'll see. All right, what's it called, Chris?
I linked it in guild chat.
Oh, okay.
In game.
In game.
Oh, end game.
In game.
In game.
Spirit erasure. Thank you. The fragment.
Are they linked?
Yeah, we should combine Discord with guild chat, then we can see, right?
No,
Nope, never.
huge.
Oh.
20%
Yeah, so it's every-
increased damage from touching
For 2
these-
seconds.
For 2 seconds, yeah. So
Yeah, so you have
again,
to
I
gap
bet
'em.
it's going to be like a squad of mobile range and tanks, and it's like go, right, something like that. So, but yeah, it'll be a while till we get there. But yeah, that's the entire fight. Again, lots of movement, lots of coordination. Anything anyone wants to go look at again before we are done. Okie dokie.
Oh, if it'll stay the same, but